Welcome back to News 46. Here's Tanya Brum from Inspiration Senior Living.
We've been working very hard at Inspiration Senior Living. I'm Tanya Brum from Inspiration Senior Living to make sure we provide extra care and comfort and support to both caregivers as well as those who are grieving. We've been having for our residents and our staff, we've had like a grief support, caregiver support meetings, but really the public was not aware of it. And our projects that we have going on at Inspirations are always open to the public, and our comfort and support for both grief and caregivers is going to be the third Thursday of every month at 4 in the afternoon. Again, I highly recommend you call to make reservations, because I think that once people are aware they have a central location to go for that additional support, they're going to be filling up the room. So please call 751-2300 and reserve your seat for the third Thursday of the month. And it's actually called Achieving Peace and Comfort Support Group. I think you will enjoy it. The chaplain from Procare, Scott, is the one that will be facilitating it. And it's very important because caregivers need extra help, need extra support, and those who are grieving also need the additional support to get them through these tough days.
At least 28 horses from the Cold Creek Wild Horse Roundup have been euthanized. The BLM says the horses were examined by a vet who determined they were in poor health and malnourished. During the roundup, 201 horses were gathered. 3 foals are now in foster care, and the other 170 horses went to a private facility in Utah called Axtell. Most of the horses that are under 10 years old will be up for adoption. The Kentucky clerk who refuses to issue marriage licenses because of her religious beliefs about gay couples was released from jail this morning on contempt charges. County Clerk Kim Davis says religious beliefs and her conscience won't allow her to issue the license to couples. Her attorney says she won't violate her conscience and argues that the licenses issued by her office in her absence are invalid. If she refuses to follow the law and interferes as other clerks issue marriage licenses, she may be jailed again. Dr. Tom Waters is the subject of our Let's Meet segment.
It seems I've been in Pahrump for a lot of years because I try to be visible. I try to do things for the community. And I realized I've only been here 7 years.
It just seems a lot longer because of all the things that you're involved in.
It does seem longer, and it happened at the DAV. They were giving out pins of how long you've been in the DAV, Disabled American Veterans, and it said that I've been here in the DAV for 7 years.
So you're a disabled American veteran. You're a Purple Heart recipient.
Yes, I am. 100% disabled because of a cracked spine, broken foot, some other injuries that I received while I was in Vietnam. And because of that, I try to still get around. I don't want to look disabled, although by the VA standards, I am disabled.
So you're a Vietnam vet. In what branch of the military?
I was in the Air Force for 32 years. I was a master sergeant before I switched over and became a second lieutenant. And then I retired as a lieutenant colonel. But it was 32 and a half years of active duty.
You're married?
I'm married, and Faye, my wife, she also participates in the community with a lot of different things.
Children?
I have 4 children, none in this community. My son is a retired Air Force major. He was also a tech sergeant in the Air Force, E6. And my daughters, they did not do the military part, but we have a daughter in North Carolina, one in Colorado, and one in Texas.
And you also had a brother who unfortunately passed away in the military during combat, right?
Yes, my younger brother Melvin, he joined the Army instead of the Air Force, and he was sent to Vietnam right after basic training. And after 3 months in country, he was killed. That was one of the reasons I did not have to go to Vietnam. But after hearing that so often, I volunteered for Vietnam. That was the biggest mistake I've ever made. I should not have volunteered, but I did, and I'm glad I did, in that I saw some things that I hope nobody ever have to see, and that's wartime.
You're involved so much in the community, like we said, with the Disabled American Veterans. With how many other boards? I know you're with the Rotarians.
I'm with the Rotarians. I'm also with the VFW and the DAV, Disabled American Veterans. I'm also with the American Legion, and anything I can do for veterans, then I step forward and try to do that.
Here's Courtney Salmon with Weekend Sports.
Weekend Sports is brought to you by Wolfenstein Construction. The Pahrump Valley High School football team lost their first home game of the season to Sunrise Mountain on Friday night, 20-14. It was a close game and the Trojans made some pretty good plays, but Sunrise Mountain edged them out. Sunrise Mountain is now 2-0 and the Trojans are 1-1. The Trojans' next opponent is Mojave at Pahrump Valley High School on Friday. Mojave comes into the game with a record of 1-2 and the game starts at 7 p.m. The PVHS boys and girls soccer teams were away today. The boys soccer team traveled to Boulder City and the girls were on the road to Sunrise Mountain. Both were non-conference games. 2 football players in Marble Falls, Texas have been suspended and are looking at possible jail time for assaulting a referee. 2 defensive players blindsided a referee intentionally. The defensive back comes in full speed, smashes into the back of the referee, and his teammate followed, leading with his helmet after the referee had been knocked to the ground. Both players are 17 years old and old enough to be charged as adults. The 2 were ejected from the football game, suspended from the football team, and are now suspended from Marble Falls High School. There will be a full investigation into the matter to determine what further actions will be taken. The National Football League will officially begin their regular season on Thursday, with the opening matchup being the New England Patriots versus the Pittsburgh Steelers. Quarterback Tom Brady will be playing in the game despite the deflated football controversy that has now been resolved in a court of law. Sunday will be full of games, and Monday night will feature 2 games: the Philadelphia Eagles versus the Atlanta Falcons, then the San Francisco 49ers versus the Minnesota Vikings. It's official, people. Football is back. This has been Weekend Sports. I'm Courtney Salmon with News 46.
We'll be back with your weather in just a moment.
News 46 weather is brought to you by your local dairy farmers. Dairy products are very important in maintaining a healthy body.
Hello and welcome back to News 46. Today is Tuesday, September 8th. Today we had sunny skies with a high of 100 degrees. Your average temperature around this time of year is 97 degrees. Winds were coming from the west today at 5 miles per hour with gusts up to 9 miles per hour. The UVX today was 5, which is moderate. Humidity was at 16% today. Sunrise was at 6:22 this morning, and the record high back in 1979 was 110 degrees. Well, tonight we'll have clear skies with a low of 69 degrees. Your average temperature around this time of year is 74 degrees. Winds will be coming from the northeast this evening at 4 miles per hour with gusts up to 6 miles per hour. Humidity will be at 22%. Sunset will be at 7:04 this evening, and the record low back in 1965 was 56 degrees. Tomorrow we'll have sunny skies with a high of 103 degrees and a low of 70 degrees. Winds will be coming from the west at 5 miles per hour with gusts up to 7 miles per hour. Humidity will be at 16%. Sunrise will be at 6:23 tomorrow morning, and the UV index will be 8, which is very high. For our 7-day forecast, again, sunny skies tomorrow. That'll be continuing through Friday. We'll start to see a few clouds outside on Saturday, and those clouds should be getting more and more as we head into next week. We'll have a 10% chance of rain on Monday with partly cloudy skies, and then we'll have morning showers next Tuesday with a 50% chance of rain there. Your high temperatures will be starting off at 103 degrees. That'll be going up to 104 degrees on Friday and Saturday, and that'll work its way down to 92 degrees next Tuesday. Your low temperatures will be looking at a similar pattern starting off at 70 degrees tomorrow. That'll be going up to 71 degrees on Saturday, and then working its way down to 61 degrees by next Tuesday.
Thanks, Noah. Well, that's going to do it for this edition of News 46 from all of us up here at KPVM TV and KA's Country Radio 95.9. Have a great night. We'll see you back here tomorrow.